The Pizza Delivery Boy Who Saved the World. I love finding strange titles, and this one has been on my radar for a while. It's only $5.99 normally, but even still, I was waiting for it to go on sale. Now that I gave it a chance, playing it, the title is even worse than I imagined it was. Let me make something clear. I came into this title with very low expectations, as I knew it was going to be a little goofy and low budget. However, I found games that I have enjoyed that did more with less. Now let's get this out of the way right away. This is not a game. A game gives you something to do. For 99% of this, they give you nothing to do. It's just an interactive book, and even that moniker is generous. There are choices that you can make throughout the story, and they will change up the dialogue a little bit, but then it goes back to the normal path. Even at points where they could have put in real choices and add some gameplay, they don't even bother and just keep it on rails. There is one point where it's the loosest definition of gameplay. They have you slice pizzas, and you have to use math in order to help you figure out how to slice it. I'm talking about the simplest math. Like, how do you cut 6 slices into 12 slices? Oh, I don't know, cut each one in half. Oh, spoiler. This title will take you about 2 hours to beat, and there's about 15 to 20 minutes of plot. The rest is pointless bullshit. Sure, they set up people and locations, but it's done so clumsily, and the writing is awful. The main problem is the story itself. It sets up things and never pays them off, or gives us any real point to them. I was expecting silly situations, but it was more sad than silly. They really do beat down the main character for really no reason. Visually, the story uses pictures of real people over-expressing themselves. It is the best thing this title does. If it was just cartoon characters, this would be even more dull to play. The cast is mostly young people, so much so it feels like someone made this story for a college course, and they just got their friends to be part of it. The story is about Wiiviewer, or whatever you name him, a pizza delivery driver who has to deal with his horrible boss and co-workers for reasons that were really never explained other than him thinking he'll never find another minimum wage job. It was the biggest problem with the story. Usually they set up bad characters for a reason, where they have like ending comeuppance, like maybe something that'll end up making them their friend, or having something horrible happen to them in the final act. But none of them come out bad at the end of this. They're jerks when they start the story, and they're the same when it ends. None of them go through any changes at all, and their abuse of the main character is never called out or avenged. They really are only there to add to his sorrow and pad the story for no reason. Now, speaking of the story, one day a person comes in and claims to be his future self and has somehow been transported back in time. He tells him about a terrorist attack on the internet and some random plot to make cats smarter. It never made any sense. Now the main character knows about this and he wants to stop it, and that's the basic plot. Most of this plot shows up in the last third of the game. The rest of the time you're going to be reading about delivering pizzas and dealing with your coworkers. The ending section had some interesting ideas. If they actually decided to gamify it, there could have been some fun gameplay in this. It felt like they were going in that direction, but in the end it just led me down the path to the conclusion. It was so frustrating. This whole story was confusing and full of plot holes. It does try to fill in some of the holes in the story, but it does it so haphazardly. The main character has a crush on the woman that he delivers some of the pizzas to, but when you end up getting to the end of this story, and if you end up actually thinking about it too hard, it is really f***ed up. However, I doubt the creators thought too much meaning to anything in this story. Let's not even get into that whole make cats smarter storyline, which was only really there for a joke. The Pizza Delivery Boy Who Saved the World was not a game. It was a book. And a bad one at that. They use real photos with text boxes to tell the story. And while it did give the story more emotion on the screen, the story itself is very immature and boring at times. This may not shock you, but I think you should skip this. If they added something for us to do that actually meant something, it might have been slightly better. Anytime there's a character moment, it's not earned. It's more pushed through and hope you don't think about it too much. Playing this, I really can't recommend this to anyone.